Welcome back here to the BTS Pro Series Season 10. Hope you've enjoyed the long ride today that we've had. It's been a lot of fun, but we have one game left here. It's game 2 of APU King of Kings versus the Cut. And we are already into the draft. Apologies for the slight delay, but when you got there, Neff?
Hmm, Just continue.
Just a juice box moment? Is that what this is?
Please continue.
Okay. We've got, again, APU King of Kings taking on the Cut. We are going into the draft. Should be... I'll get that on screen here in just a second. But Neff, break down game number 1. What fell apart for the Cut here at the end?
They ended up just taking that last team fight. The fight was just super far gone. They bought back on all of their heroes on the side of APU Kings, and they had the choice to disengage, but they decided to pursue the fight. Spirit Breaker obviously buying back a moment too late. I thought he bought back instantly and just took too long to charge across the map, but I think he waited a little bit too long himself, and everything came apart off of just like a single poor decision there by DNM. He played super well that game as well. Like I don't know if we are able to pull up the graph for the previous game, but it ended up just going up and down and up in the favor of King of Kings. It was like a super hard way to claw their way back to the game on the side of the Cut. Eventually, they managed to control up a lot of these heroes, but then again, a single bad team fight is all it takes to lose a super hard fought advantage that you struggle to get in the first place.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
one thing that was so interesting about the final fight is just like you win this like big buyback advantage, right? Like you see APU King Kings, they buy back 4, you only buy back 2 on the Cut, and you're like, okay, like not that big. And then they just unfortunately, yeah, made that decision, go back onto the high ground, and just all falls apart from there. APU King Kings, great job capitalizing on their just on their positioning, being ready to fight once again. But enough talking about that. It's time to talk about game 2. We've got Mars, Shadow Demon, Death Prophet, Bloodseeker for the Cut, and a pickup of the Broodmother to go with the Bane Kunkka Snapfire here on
Look,
APU.
I know that I said I want to see new heroes, but this isn't what I had in mind. I don't want to see a Broodmother picked up again. I want with the respect for each other, the mutual love for the game. Instead, they go for this goddamn spider hero.
It's
Come on,
pretty
man.
good. They don't have a lot of catch, or they don't have a lot of wave clear necessarily for the Broodmother. I will say you do have the Mars, which is pretty good as the game goes on. It's a terrible lane matchup pre-6. But the Bloodseeker with the Shadow Demon, I don't think it's going to end up being too bad. You can always just disrupt into the Bloodright to try and harass out the Broodmother. You can also stall outside the duration on that Insatiable Hunger with the Shadow Demon, just using that disruption. So I think it might end up working out
10
okay.
seconds.
But we do have...
You think it's gonna be a one Bloodseeker then?
5
Yeah, I think it's Safe Lane
remaining.
Bloodseeker. It's something Scourge has played. It's also a little bit of deny pick because it is so good
Radiant's
against the
turn
Death
to
Prophet. Like if you want to pick the DP, you kind of have to worry about the Bloodseeker just getting instantly picked to counter you.
Yeah, that's something that we're worried about a lot when we were watching Chinese DPC. Bloodseeker's super good against the Pangolier, the Death Prophet, and of course the Razor that were all super
10
popular.
seconds
Razor's kind
remaining.
of fallen off a little bit, not picked up as much inside this region. We've seen it banned out a couple times. We've seen it picked a couple, but nowhere near as popular as it was when we were covering those games,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
kind of nice. I mean, the hero is very easy to execute, it feels like.
He's fun, man. I think it's cool. I think it's a
10
fun hero to watch.
seconds.
He just runs
You
at
just
heroes like
walk
Death
at
Prophet.
people.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like the same thing. You just run at
5
heroes and you're just constantly fighting.
Mhm. But Razor obviously a lot better at dealing with heroes who have BKBs, as everything he does just goes through it. I
Hmm.
mean, ghosts do, but being able to sap the damage from people as you go on top of them is pretty sick. Templar Assassin banned out last to the side of the Cut. Not something we want to deal with again. Benny was pretty sick on previous game. Get rid of the Tibersol, get rid of the Lena. I guess they're just concerned about a mid hero. They're sure that they're gonna flex pick this Kunkka. I was talking about this during the break, man. I think that people are way overvaluing the Kunkka as a safe lane. I think it's super good because it's flexible, but I don't think it's like awesome as a safe lane pause one hero.
I
And
think
when it
it's
is picked up as a safe lane pause one, I think you need somebody who can scale super well with damage from the mid lane.
okay. I've been comparing it a lot to the Wraith King. I think they play very similarly. I think they farm very well, both of them. The difference
Mhm.
being that like Kunkka can go mid or safe lane, and that's why it's being picked up a lot
Radiant's
more.
turn to pick.
But yeah, it seems to be
Dynasty.
slightly weaker in the safe lane. They go ahead and grab a Sven. I hear that we don't see all that often, but That
They
means we
wasted no
are
time
going to
with
see
this
the
either.
5 position or 4 position Death Prophet maybe, and an offlane Bloodseeker mid Mars.
Yeah. I mean, everyone would have had to agree on this one. They picked this up right away. They didn't waste any time with it, and they still have 47 seconds of reserve time. So they were, again, certain that they wanted this Sven here. I'm not sure why they think it's super good. And they end with the Tinker. They have no way of getting on top of this hero either. They're going to get away with this. They're going to get away with picking up Tinker. They have to get some wards up on the triangle and whatnot. I don't think Shouting's going to be able to catch this guy out either.
Okay, it's 3 Death Prophet. It's a support
They picked up a
Bloodseeker.
Broodmother and a Tinker. They have absolutely no honor here, man. I thought these guys were supposed to be kings.
This is a 5 position Bloodseeker.
Yes.
You see
It's
this,
a 5
right?
Bloodseeker. Yes, and it's going to be kits on the on the Death Prophet, and DNM playing position 3 Mars. Giant.
I'm very
4
confused by the
Shadow
cuts draft, if I'm being honest. But the Tinker Broodmother, it's very greedy. The thing I will say, this is a typical cut draft in the terms of like you have a hero that's going to stack, and you have someone that's going to clear the stacks, which is pretty much always SMD. And in the way that like Shadow Demon is just going to like retreat back to the triangle, stack up. Sven eventually just going to clear all those out. But if you fall behind in lanes, they're just going to go the way of the Kunkka. So we'll see.
Bold of you to say that things are going to go the way of the Kunkka. Again, I'm concerned about the usefulness of this Bloodseeker, but we've seen some position 4s and 5s not really be that useful as the game goes on. I mean, the Skywrath Mage wasn't doing a ton in the previous series as things ended, but did enough in the early game that it was able to kind of botch the initiations of this bat right and force him to build an early BKB. This game, same shit, different hero. I think the Bloodseeker's goal is just going to be to drop ruptures inside these team fights and counter out enemies that way. Who he drops these ruptures on is going to be a little bit of a question mark. Like I can't kind of mess up the Broodmother with it, but again, it's a matter of being useful before you get to that level 6 and finding other ways of doing things inside these team fights. I don't know how useful Blood Rage is as a support ability. I just haven't seen enough of it.
Yeah. Bloodseekers, Blood Rage is very good, especially when you get the extra attack speed talent at 10. It's kind of like a bad Bloodlust, but it just doesn't give movement speed. So I don't know. Like, I'm not 100% sold on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you do benefit a lot from the attack speed on Sven. You benefit. That's the only guy that really benefits from attack speed here, though. Mars is like okay with it, but not amazing.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, it's mostly just going to be used to clean up stacks, and Bloodseeker's Rupture is definitely valuable as the game goes on. Tinker should be able to outblink the damage, though, especially since he'll have the shell, right? The defense matrix. You can just like walk a little bit, then blink, and then you just don't take the Rupture damage once you have Aether Lens, so... Ends up not really being much of an issue for the Tinker. It is quite good against the Broodmother, though, as this is a hero that hates getting ruptured. You pretty much just have to pop Insatiable Hunger and hope you can keep yourself on top of someone.
Did Pingu just get out-clicked by Sexy Fat?
Pingu's also just dead. Stormhammer? Maybe? Okay. Is it enough? Nah, there's no way, right?
It's going to take 3 auto attacks.
He's actually just way too slow on Broodmother, so... Pingu's just going to go for the deny to the tower. Okay. Well, there's your first blood gold.
Yeah. So, that's because it's a 30-second window rather than a 20-second window right now. But I think you might have just been... I don't know. You're not super useful in the lane, but I guess they do need you, so you couldn't just TP back to base or TP over to your tier 1 tower.
Nearly goes down 7 HP there. Disruption into Spear is no joke.
Hold on, I need to figure this one out. What's Pingu's ping? His name, his client is P. All right, he's got 44 ping, and Sexy Fat has. What's Sexy Fat's name right now? Keep casting. I just got to figure this one out. It is very important.
Okay. Disruption Spear top comes out once again. Now that you are level 2, Sarah might be able to get brought down, but too close to the tower once again. He will survive. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Broodmother taking a beating here.
Okay, so Pingu had 100 less ping than Sexy Fat, but Sexy Fat got the bounty rune.
Very nice.
That's some old man clicking skills there, Pingu. Get it together. Significant ping advantage, and he ends up getting out-clicked.
Very nice.
No, it's
Top
not.
lane.
It's the opposite of nice.
We're gonna go for the same disruption into Spirit combo now for the 3rd time, but a good torrent ends up making space for Serum, and he's got the body blocks from Benny as well, but I don't think he's making it out this time. Yeah, God's Rebuke and one more auto attack. Giant finally secures it for himself.
Well, ties things up 1-1. Mid lane, haven't touched base on if I've got a moment to. I do, not too much action happening in these side lanes just yet. Right, I say that and they mango up.
Ooh, they're
Bottom
looking
lane.
for Snapfire bottom, and they get it. All right, Stormhammer into Bloodright.
Not bad. So 2 kills going their way. I mean, it does do a lot of damage between these 2 nukes. 120 pure damage just off of 1 level of Bloodright. Thirst isn't super useful inside the lane, but at the very least, like, it'll apply vision for people. And maybe the extra movement speed you get will allow people to run people down as well.
I mean,
One
so
thing I
far,
like-
it's not actually going that bad. Like, the Sven's farming pretty well. He's got 5 denies. Pingu's just ferrying out more mana regen because that's all he can do in this lane is constantly throw spells.
He's throwing clicks here as well, but he has to be careful when he does.
Bloodright not going to
Yeah.
connect. But yeah, I think the
Unfortunate.
idea is they're going to go for potentially a 2nd point into the Stormhammer and a 2nd point into Bloodright at level 4 and just use their mana. Okay, so they actually get the 2nd point in right now, but Pingu unable to get close enough. Shadow Demon top lane falling incredibly low. Gets a salve off with the last second there, though. Trying to just walk away from Benny, instead walks right into him. And DNM comes in with the spear. Will be able to pin that Kunkka against the wall. Serum, no cooldowns quite yet, so they will not be able to hold him in place.
Yeah. Mini ended up stacking up his own small camp earlier. Nobody stacked the Ancients for him. I did mention that. It's something that we saw some of the Chinese teams do when they picked up the Tinker, and I think they've been kind of lackluster here. The Tinker games we've seen in the BTS Pro Series so far is they haven't had the time just due to support aggression on the enemy team to move over to the Ancients and stack that for the Tinker so he can spam lasers with the Smoke of Deceit. So the Blink Dagger usually comes on a little bit slower than it otherwise could. But again, just due to so much aggression coming up from these lanes.
Pingu bottom lane in some trouble. Takes a lot of damage there, but he'll be able to make it out. But
Yeah,
it
Sexy
does
Fat.
cost you a lot, so you're pretty much out of regen on both of these heroes. Meanwhile, Sexy Fat sitting pretty in the lane.
Mm-hmm. 2 points of Insatiable Hunger. Just give you so much lifesteal. This ability is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's very good. Well, goodbye Clarity. Popped pretty much instantly on the Sven.
He needs HP though.
They're TPing back down here on Pingu.
Dude, he met the courier.
And then
Or,
just
sorry, the
TP'd back.
couriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then TP'd back rather than heading all the way back to base. So he wanted to be in lane as quickly as possible. I'm not sure how efficient this is because again, you spend an extra 100 gold on a salve for yourself.
Well, they get the Stormhammer, but look at the damage. He had so much minus armor. He just lifestealed back to full almost. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that Blightstone ends up doing a ton of work. How much damage these two of these people do together? They end up doing almost 600 damage to the Broodmother, but again, she just tops herself back up thanks to that lifesteal.
How much minus armor? Because he has 2 to begin with. Did he not pop Warcry? Did he not have the mana for it? Yeah, he
I
didn't.
don't
He
think
just popped Stormhammer and then died.
No, yeah, he just pops Stormhammer. No Warcry, so you don't get that extra 6 armor.
Hey, it went to like -3 armor or something, and just Broodmother just hit him for like 100, almost 200 damage, like 150 damage probably, just life stealing all the way back up.
Mm-hmm. 100 he did like 110 damage to him per auto attack.
Yeah.
And you're healing for 60%, so you're getting almost 60%, 60 HP per auto attack there. Which is as much as Sven is doing. DNM being brought back.
Yeah, nice rotation in from Mini. The missile, it is level 2, so a lot of damage. Ooh, Jukes to the north, this guy. He's got the schmoves, but he's got no TP, so I don't think he's getting out of here anytime soon. He's gonna have to sit there, contemplate his existence.
This is just as bad as death. He's in the Shadow Realm right
They
now.
do find Mini here, but they're TP in from Serum, able to get the Nightmare. Giant in a little bit of trouble. The Exorcism's wasted here, and now It's going to be Snapfire chasing for more. Minnie's going to be able to get the kill there with the missile. Serum underneath the tower, eventually going to fall to Kits here. Question is, will he look for more? Doesn't look like it. They just want to focus on this tier 1 tower. Catapult is still alive. They will fortify themselves now. Turn his attention over to Snapfire. Now he's going to go right back to trying to chip this thing down.
Yep. Kits doesn't have boots yet, so he's pretty slow at running people down. He'll heal back up to near full wolf. All right, never mind. I was going to say he'll heal back up to near full with the spirits, but he'll also do so with the regeneration.
Yeah, he wants to get his mana back.
Yeah. I make quick work of these camps here. Maybe get himself a neutral item, which just hit 7 minutes. Unlucky. What can you do?
So decent chunk of damage done to the mid tower, but they don't manage to claim it, which is unfortunate if you're the Death Prophet, because that's pretty much your main goal once you use that first exorcism.
Mask of Death coming over Scourge McDuck. Is he going to be able to clear these?
Scourge, I think, is just dead here unless he can get some help, and it does come in the form of DNM. He's able to make it outside of the arena for now, but he snipes him with spiders from the backside, and Sexy Fat looking to just continue diving here, but without the webs, not fast enough. So now you have to plant the Mars in this lane, but he only has 2 points God's Rebuke. It's not enough damage to one-shot the spiders, so you just get to do whatever you want on this Broodmother now.
Yeah. Let's see. He's got... God, I keep on telling myself that I'm going to look up some of these things. I never end up doing it. I used to have them all memorized.
Look up what?
How much you need in each level of God's Rebuke as far as armor goes in order to clear out the spiders.
Oh.
Versus and things like Balance Strike and whatnot. This is supposed to be like such common knowledge among players. I just haven't gotten around to looking at it. I'm washed, man.
True.
I'm gonna make a note of it to do it right after this cast, so I stop forgetting. And then they'll patch the game, of course, to have different numbers, and it won't really matter.
Exactly. So don't waste your time. It's that simple.
But yeah, Scourge McDuck wasn't able to clear out the spiders with just his power tread, so he just ended up getting beat down there.
Death Prophet found here in the top. Doesn't get a chance to do anything. They're trying to take down Serum. They don't even get the opportunity. Bloodseeker just popped, and now looking for Scourge McDuck as well. Betty, he's level 8 on the Kunkka. Meanwhile, your level 6 Sven does not really matter against a Tinker, as they have, like you said, no way of getting on top of this guy. And I don't know about you, man, but this support Bloodseeker, I'm not really feeling it.
No, I mean, if the Sven was doing a little bit better, it'd be fine, but you just see him struggling to do any damage to people himself as a position 1. And your position 5 isn't really contributing to kills either. If he had Rupture, it might be able to do something, but the only person who really does damage on your team right now, I think, is the Mars, and maybe the Death Prophet when she's got Exorcism up. But you can't make plays with like your 1, your 2, or sorry, your 1, your 4, and your 5, because they don't do enough.
You also just haven't been stacking enough. Like, they have 1 hard stack, 1 ancient stack. Normally, if you've got the Sven and a Shadow Demon, you'd like these to be at like 4 or even 5 for each of these camps, so that you can try and clear them up. But
speaking of, Tinker's doing the thing, but he's only got a double stack of the ancients.
The good thing. Nice. Classic.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kit's looking to take top tower. He's going to get it. So he claims the 2nd tower so far this game as the Death Prophet. It's expected, right? This hero needs to take objectives. It's what makes it so strong. Meanwhile, you have a Tinker Broodmother and a Kunkka farming to their heart's content. So I don't think you're all that worried here on the side of APU. Yes, you've lost towers, but you still own the majority of the map.
The Mathematic is finally completed on the Sven. He'll be able to farm up a little bit faster, at least clear out his ancients.
Surprised he isn't just denied this ward, but it is going to die before the next respawn at least. Wait, can you not deny sentries? Is that what it is? You can't deny sentries.
You can deny sentries. You can.
Are you sure? I think.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. I've done this many times.
The minutes you can deny them, since people were just like griefing and using them to block creep camps.
I thought that's why it was. I thought that's why people still did it, but.
No, you can't grief those anymore. Actually, there was a patch where you could deny your own wards.
But you couldn't deny allies, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Fiend's Grip right onto the Sven. Oh, coming through. Mortimer Kisses as well. You'll be able to save him for the moment, but in comes Sexy Fat on the backside, just pops him. They get 2 quick kills, and now the mid-tier 1 tower should fall very easily here with the Broodmother. They got a catapult as well. Plenty of damage to work with, and honestly, APU looking like a well-oiled machine here in game number 2.
Yeah, they make quick work of this tower. Fighters all still standing. Elsewhere on the map, DNM, he's trying to farm up this Blink Dagger so he actually has initiation power on these heroes because they can just walk away from any fights they don't want to take currently. He's still 200 gold away. Once he's got this, they might be able to find some kills off on a sexy pad, but without him, again, it's the Mars is going to be set up for everything. Without him participating in these fights, they're just walking over you right now on APU.
Man, I would love for... I do like the fact that they like made Broodmother's Ags like a little bit more like thematic, right? In the terms of like you can sense people on your webs. But I want it to be like even better. I want it to just be even better.
What do you mean even better?
Like you can select a specific web to be like a web that can sense movement on it or something. Instead of just like the snare, you know? Is that too good?
I don't know. That's too good. There's too many places you could like put webs at like key locations to catch enemies that are rotating. Like it's kind of like playing against techies. Suddenly you're very limited for what areas of the map that you can be in. At that point, your hero does too many things.
The spider snare
does
is
too many
pretty
things
cool.
too good.
I feel like it needs to be buffed though. I feel like the spider snare is getting there, but I think it needs to be buffed.
I don't know, man. There's been some games where it just bodies the enemies.
Oh, they find Benny. Spirit comes out from DNM. Rupture there as well. The question is, do they have the damage to actually finish him off? Demonic Purge. Can they do it? He's just standing his ground. It's going to be the rotation in from Kits, though. That might be enough to finish him off. This is the Exorcism plus the Spirit Siphon. Benny finally goes down. Fiend's Grip comes through from Serum, but a defensive disruption from Giant. Going to keep him alive, but Mortimer Kisses in from the Snapfire. Kit's just going to stand right on top of him instead. Yules comes out trying to keep him alive. He ends up dying without finding the kill onto the Snapfire. The burst damage instead. Unlucky. That Yules kind of griefed himself, actually.
He did it because he didn't want to die right away. I mean, I think if he got into the Snapfire a little bit closer, he would have taken a little bit less damage from the Mortimer Kisses there. And he might have been okay. It's hard to say, though. I think the Yules was necessary in order to keep himself alive for another 2.5 seconds, because he would have died before that as everyone started to run at him. I don't know. Again, hard to say. But now you don't have Exorcism the next little bit. You don't have... You'll have Rena back up pretty soon, but because I'm just being the big one for being able to take these team fights, it's such an important tool for them. And I think the longer this game goes, the better off. I mean, I think in the ultra late game, the cup might have an advantage, but the next, like, I don't know, from like the 20 to the 30-minute mark, APU are going to be so incredibly strong, especially once this Aghanim Scepter gets finished up on the Tinker. The Aghanim's just like maybe one other item is just going to make him feel unstoppable.
Sexy Fat has been such a nuisance with these spiders. Like every time he gets a few, he just sends them into the enemy's ancient and just blocks it. Like it's doing it again. It's going right in. He's just gonna hide it in the corner. Oh my god, no way. It just blocked once again, dude. He's literally done this 3 respawns in a row. They actually just can't farm.
Can DNM clear these with the God's Rebuke?
The small ones, yes, but he just wasn't there. He can't just sit there. Top lane, they find the Shadow Demon. X into the boat. Easy kill in Arena. Doesn't end up doing much of anything as they decide they might just need to back out instead. Oh, Sexy Fat's here on the Broodmother. He's got the Orchid. Drops on top of the Bloodseeker. The X back into the Torrent. The missile spam as well. Plenty of damage. Ends up going the way of the Brood. They're looking for more. Snapfire's behind the tower if he finds Kits. Ends up barely escaping. The ward there sees him now.
Yep. I mean, trying to make as much space for this Sven as they can, but everyone else on side of APU, like, yes, Sven is in the top 4, but everybody else pretty head and shoulders above their counterparts as far as net worth goes.
Snapfire is also super farmed. Serum bottom lane, Nightmare out onto the Sven. They're gonna be able to wake him up into an immediate Fiend's Grip Scourge. He can't get out of it, and in comes the Tinker. He just dies. Oh no. All right, double kill for Bane. That was pretty sick.
I mean, It was pretty sick, but it was like a crucial mistake there by the Bane, or sorry, by the Shadow Demon. Giant, maybe it's late in the day or something like that, but completely forgot, hey, if I nightmare this guy, if I wake him up, then I'm not going to be able to disrupt him as soon as the Fiend's Grip comes out. And of course, Sam remembering that and instantly dropping the Fiend's Grip.
X into the torrent, ruptured up on this Kunkka. I don't think he really cares all that much. Ooh, DNM misses the spear for the moment, but Kit's gonna pop the Exorcism. Just gonna chase down the Bane here. We'll take up a little bit of this damage, but in comes Snapfire as well as this Tinker. Yules from Kits. Nicely done, and a big silence as well. Benny just gonna be able to pull him back, make some space in this fight. Meanwhile, Sexy Fat just causing a havoc on the backside of the Sven, and there Sven just disarmed instantly thanks to the Tinker. And they're just looking for more disruption onto Pingu. I guess by mistake, triple kill for the Brood.
And that's it. A series of misplays there. I mean, the first one, of course, being that they just GG out. They realized that they can't do anything. Before that fight even started, they dropped the Rupture off on a Kunkka when there's just absolutely no follow-up damage. And position 5 Bloodseeker, I mean, you were questioning this one, but very obviously fell apart in short order. No solution to the Brood, no solution to this Tinker. They had no way to jump these heroes on the back line and realize this game is just impossible to win in the position they were at. The cut. Ended up losing 2 games in a row, and
first game a lot closer. This one, they definitely like had something that they thought might work, and it just did not work at all. Like the mid lane ended up being a pretty okay, but this safe lane Sven just ended up getting bodied, and DNM not getting much out of the top lane either. And then, you know, once we hit this like mid game and lanes break down, people are rotating, trying to find kills, you just don't stand a chance against that lineup from APU.
My net worth graph is our player net worth graph is broken again, but everything did favor the side of King of Kings pretty hard. They didn't have an amazing recovery. DNM tried to do what he could, farming up Blink Dagger as quickly as possible, but again, things came up a little bit too slow. And when your 2 supports like together and your safe lane carry aren't able to make plays, then your road back to the game becomes so much harder. With that, APU end up winning, and I'm not sure if we're able to pull up a bracket or anything like that, but this is going to be it for
yet. We'd have to update all the standings, and Jerry does not have time for that. That being said, this will put, I think at the end of today, Wildcard and Lava are at the top, tied with Infamous. So Wildcard, Lava, and Infamous are all at the very top, and then it's going to be APU. So I don't know, pretty good start to the tournament for these teams. The cut definitely struggling as they fall to, I think, 1-4. Or like 0-1-4. They've tied 1 series and they've lost 4. So not the best start for them.
Do you believe in the little Nick curse?
Yeah, I mean, people talk about it. It's not impossible. But yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight. We do not have any games over the next couple of days that we do as a result of the DPC regional playoffs are happening on their respective channels. So make sure to check that out. If you're watching China, you might see me there tonight, and then Neph and myself will be there tomorrow. But we will return here on the BTS Pro Series season number 10, February 22nd. That is going to be Tuesday, with a bunch more of this group stage to be played. I think it's like 7 days in a row to finish that one off before we move into phase 3. So make sure to check that one out. It's going to be an absolute blast. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Neph, final thoughts before we say goodbye to the viewers.
I guess just APU King of Kings and Wild Game both looking very good to start things off, but unfortunately haven't played against some of the best teams in the tournament yet, which are going to be 4Zoomers and Quincy Crew, who are going to be playing in the regional finals. Those ones I think you can find on the ESL channel. If you're wanting to catch more stuff here on the BTS channel, they're going to be covering the Eastern European DPC finals. And those start I think sometime in the next 24 hours. The Quincy Crew game, that one is going to start in 17 hours over on the ESL channel. So I know the Quincy Crew fans have been missing them. I'm excited to watch those games as well. So make sure to check them out. And that's all I got to say to close out the night.
Right on. All right, everyone. That'll do it. Thank you again so much for watching. Shout out to Beyond the Summit for putting this tournament together. And of course, my name's rkryptic. I've been here with Neph all day, all week, and we will see you guys very soon. Have a wonderful evening.